Hi, I'm Traveling Karina. Join me as I highlight the best food, drinks, and nightly entertainment aboard the Carnival Mardi Gras. Discover what's included, what's extra, and my top picks from my 2-week vacation. Plus, I'll be sharing tips and insights along the way. Let's start with one of the best parts of any cruise, the food. And on the Carnival Mardi Gras, there's an incredible variety from included dining options to specialty restaurants. Here's an overview of what I learned and experienced. I'm going to start with the included dining options first. The buffet on the Lido deck is available for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even a midnight buffet. For breakfast, it was just fine, offering the usual breakfast staples, though bacon is only available every other day. For lunch and dinner, I rarely visited because there were so many other great options, but it's nice to know that it's there if needed. However, I do recommend stopping by the buffet at lunchtime for some gelato goodness. They offer different flavors every day, and my personal faves were passion fruit, mango, and raspberry. And here's a quick look at what is offered at the midnight buffet. Now let's talk about my favorite lunch options that are included. Big chicken. While I found the recipe slightly different on this ship and not as good as I've had on others, it's still a solid choice for crispy, flavorful chicken. Blue Iguana Cantina. This is where you will find me enjoying shrimp and fish tacos. The Deli. They offer both cold and hot sandwiches. If you go, try the meatball sandwich. It's so good. The pizzeria. The pizza on this ship was top notch. I enjoyed the pepperoni and 4 cheese slices best. But there has been a recent change worth mentioning. The pizzeria no longer serves pizza past midnight. However, you can still grab a different style of pizza at the midnight buffet. Good to know if you are a late night snacker. Guy's Pig and Anchor Barbecue Buffet. This is available on sea days only and is a great spot for barbecue fans, although I wasn't a fan of the recently changed recipe of baked beans. Guy's Burger Joint. If you are a burger lover, this is a must try. I'm not a big burger person myself, but it's one of the most popular spots on the ship. And my absolute favorite spot for lunch was Chabang. It is a specialty restaurant for dinner, more on that later, but is included at lunch and has a separate menu. They offer both Chinese and Mexican options in the form of noodle and burrito bowls. Both were fantastic. When it comes to the included dinner options, my go-to is the dining room. I always choose the set time dining option because I enjoy having the same table and staff every night. It adds a personal touch to the experience. But if you prefer more flexibility, there's also the Your Time dining option where you can sign in and wait for an available table at another dining room whenever you are ready. Both options serve the same fantastic menu and provide the same elegant ambiance. As an included dining option, I think the food is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend trying the soups. They have a new one every night, and I really enjoy them. Quick tip, the dining room is also a fantastic option for brunch on sea days. All you have to do is sign in on the app and wait to be assigned a table. The menu offers a mix of breakfast and lunch options, and it makes for a nice sit-down restaurant experience. Personally, I loved the parfait. Now let's move on to the specialty dining options available for dinner. On the Carnival Mardi Gras, there's a mix of experiences, some with a fee and some that offer your first visit for free but charge a small fee for additional visits. These dining spots provide a chance to elevate your meals and indulge. I'm going to start with Rudy Sea Grill, a restaurant with an extra fee. When we went, it was $49 per person. We decided to treat ourselves to Rudy Sea Grill since we enjoyed it so much on the Jubilee, and once again, the lobster mac and cheese, lobster tails, and shrimp were absolutely fantastic. The key lime pie didn't quite live up to the bold flavors we experienced before, but overall, it was still a wonderful dining experience. Next up is Chabang, the Chinese and Mexican restaurant, which is free for your first visit. This became my favorite place to eat on this vacation. I really enjoyed the spring rolls and the cheese dip. I liked them so much that I had them on both visits. And then there's Cucina del Capitano, another restaurant with a free first visit. This is the perfect spot for anyone craving classic Italian dishes. My favorites were the caprese salad and a shrimp and potato dish. This restaurant also offers a free lunch option where you can fill out a form to build your own pasta dish. I didn't get a chance to try it on this trip, but it is definitely a great option if you're craving a customized Italian meal. And for those looking for even more options, there's the Steakhouse, Seafood Shack, and Emerald's Bistro, all available for an added fee. I didn't get a chance to try these options on this trip. And there's also the option to go to Guy's Pig and Anchor for served barbecue dinner, which is free. Entertainment is a big part of any cruise, and on the Carnival Mardi Gras, there's always something happening, from morning until night. There are activities scheduled all day long, but the real showstoppers happen in the evening. In this video, I'll be focusing on the nightly performances, but stay tuned for a separate C-Day video where I'll be highlighting the daytime activities and the fun you can look forward to. I found the nightly entertainment on the Carnival Mardi Gras to be absolutely incredible. A standout for me was the cruise director, Jacky Tang. Jacky was everywhere. Whether he was introducing shows, hosting events, or even jumping in to sing and dance, his energy was infectious. He was friendly, funny, and entertaining. One of my favorite shows on the Carnival ships is the Love and Marriage show, and Jacky's quick wit and humor made him the best host I've seen yet. We enjoyed it so much that we watched it twice.
Cruise director. It is an honor to be your cruise director for the next 7 days, and I go by the name of Jacky. Now, before I continue, I know some of you are looking at me a bit weird, thinking, well, this fella looks one way, but he sounds completely different. What's going on? It's okay. I get it all the time. I come from a nice little place called England. Anyone from England? One person. That is amazing. And as you can see, I'm obviously of Asian descent. I'm actually Chinese. Do we have any Chinese people here? Yeah.
Wow.
My mum and dad, right over there. You think I'm joking, but no, that's actually them. Please give a big round of applause to my mum and dad.
As for the entertainment lineup, we were on the ship for 2 back-to-back weeks and still didn't see everything. There's such a great variety, including nightly comedy, full production shows, themed parties, game shows, and relaxing musical performances from string trio and jazz bands.
I've been really trying, baby.
There are so many entertainment options to choose from. I personally really enjoy the full production shows, and I'm excited to share a few of my personal favorites. First up is the one that holds a special place in my heart as a Vegas lover, Vegas Nights. Being a fan of Las Vegas, this show immediately caught my attention. Vegas Nights was packed with stunning aerial acrobatics, vibrant energy, and fun theme structures that brought the glitz and glamour of Vegas to life on stage. Take a look. Next up is Celestial Strings. As someone that loves listening to the string trio on Carnival ships, this show was a standout for me. Stunning backdrops, elegant costumes, and a mix of singing, dancing, and live string performances made this an unforgettable experience. I'll admit, I wasn't sure what to expect with Rock Revolution's Summer of '69. I didn't think I'd know many of the songs, but I ended up really impressed. This show was packed with high energy singing and dancing that kept me completely engaged. Another show that stood out was the Activate the Fun event held on the first night. It was a mix of events where we got to meet the cruise director and sample performances from various musical acts around the ship. It's a great show to see what's available, and you might be surprised. This show introduced us to the jazz band that played in the Brass Magnolia, and to my surprise, they quickly became one of my favorite bands to watch. It was a fun and helpful way to discover the ship's entertainment. And finally, my absolute favorite production show of the trip, the New Orleans Celebration Night. It started with the festival Mardi Gras Parade and ended with an incredible voodoo-themed show. The music, costumes, and energy truly captured the spirit of New Orleans and made for an unforgettable evening. Quick tip, the parade kicks off on Deck 6 just past Emerald's Bistro and makes its way to center stage. For my first week, I watched the parade and entire show from the center stage, but the second week I got an up-close view of the parade from the Fortune Teller bar. Both perspectives were fantastic, just a little insight to help you decide which experience you'd prefer.
Well, I'm very good evening, Mardi Gras family. Welcome into the center stage. Now, yes, you are on board the Mardi Gras ship, so we need to make sure that we celebrate the right way. See the right way, everyone. Put your hands up in the air. Every single one of you. It's time to go. We go and
Oh, there he goes. If you're a fan of themed events, there are a few that deserve a shout out. One highlight was the 80s party held outside on the Lido deck, a high-energy celebration where you are encouraged, but not required, to dress in 80s attire. My personal favorite, though, was the 90s party. It was a nostalgic trip back to the music I grew up with. We danced, we sang along, and we all bonded to 90s tunes. It was a night full of fun and great vibes.
90s and no. If you were born in the 90s, make some noise.
I'd also like to mention a special treat that we experienced during our December cruise on the Mardi Gras, a festive holiday show. Guests were given Santa hats, there were cheerful musical performance, an ugly sweater contest, and even a visit from Santa himself. It was such a delightful extra that we didn't expect. If this kind of festive fun appeals to you, a future Christmas cruise might be something to consider.
Now, at this time, since this is the season of giving a Christmas holiday, I would love to share with you one of my favorite books out there, and we're going to read it all to you as well. And then I would love it if all of you would pretend like this is the first time you've ever read this story. That will be great. And I want you to also pretend as if I wrote this story myself. So like a peddler, just opening his pack.
These were just a taste of the incredible events and performances available around the ship. There's so much to enjoy. Now let's move on to the next highlight of my cruise, cocktails. The Carnival Mardi Gras offers a fantastic variety of bars and lounges. There's definitely no shortage of options to sip and enjoy. My favorite spot to grab a cocktail was at the Fortune Teller, a specialty bar that offers a menu of creative and fun cocktails. Since I was on the ship for 2 weeks, I made it my mission to start at the top of the menu and make my way through, just so that I could give you the full scoop. Here's a quick summary of what I thought of each drink in the Fortune Teller menu. Keep in mind, this is based on my personal taste. Your taste buds might rank differently, but this will give you an idea of what to expect. I'm going to kick things off with the Crystal Ball, a drink that's not only tasty, but totally Instagram worthy. While it wasn't my absolute favorite, it was still really good and such a fun experience. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Wow! Okay, now we're going. Oh, another one! Here! Are you gonna pop it? Pop it! Pop it! Next up is the Abracadabra, a drink that changes color as you mix one potion into another. This interactive element makes it a fun experience. Taste-wise, it didn't stand out for me, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't a favorite. I'd rate it a 6 out of 10. Next is the New Moon, and this one actually surprised me. I liked it. I don't usually gravitate towards tequila, but this drink was pretty good. That said, I did ask for no salt on the rim after my first try because it wasn't for me. With that small tweak, it became one of my go-tos, so I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And Bayou Smoke was one of my favorite drinks here. It surprised me because it's not a sweet drink, which is usually my go-to, but the smoky aroma is wonderful and the flavor didn't disappoint either. I'd give this one a 10 out of 10. Venus Rising was another favorite of mine, likely because it had vodka and cranberry in it, which I always enjoy. The large ice block was a fun and unique touch that made it even more memorable. I'm giving this one a perfect 10. And Absence Minded was a one and done for me. I didn't really enjoy the flavor, so it's not one I'd order again. I'm giving this one a 3 out of 10. Le Botanique was another one-time drink for me. It tasted fine, but by the time I had tried it, other drinks had already won me over. Plus, there wasn't really anything particularly unique about it, so I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. The Air of Mystery was, unfortunately, my least favorite drink. I didn't even finish it. I wanted to like it because it's a stunning Instagram-worthy cocktail, but to me, it tasted like dirty water. That said, I did hear from others that enjoyed it, so that goes to show how different everyone's taste can be. Because of the aesthetics alone, I give it a 2 out of 10. Next up is bog juice. This drink was okay. The lemon just made it a bit too tart for my taste, but the kiwi flavor balls added a fun and unique twist. Overall, I'd rate this one a 7 out of 10. The third eye was another middle of the road drink for me. It tasted okay, but it didn't quite make my favorites list. But the added eye was a fun feature. I give this one a 6 out of 10. The Golden Galaxy was way too sweet for me, and I usually like sweet drinks. It tasted overly syrupy, so I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. And as for the lime in the coconut, I decided to skip this one since I do not like coconut. The Bohemian Treat was one of my favorites. It tasted like a creamy chocolate dessert. Plus, it's beautiful to look at. This one gets a perfect 10 from me. That wraps up my cocktail tour at the Fortune Teller Bar. Now I want to give a quick shout out to the Brass Magnolia and other bars around the ship. The Brass Magnolia has such a lovely, relaxing vibe, often featuring a string trio or jazz band. My top drink picks here were the Hurricane Bayou Lemonade and Praline Truffle. As for drinks around the ship, I highly recommend the Kiss on the Lips, the Cruiser, and the Mocha Chocolate Getaway. The Carnival Mardi Gras exceeded my expectations from the food to the entertainment. I hope this gave you a taste of what you can look forward to. If you're planning to cruise on the Mardi Gras, I'd love to hear what you're most excited about. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my ship tour video for even more tips and insights. Thanks for watching, and happy cruising!